Hi everyone, Big Pauly back for a brand new video. Yes, back for something a little bit different. For the last couple of weeks I've been doing a few little mini movie reviews inside my Monday Blu-ray shopping. But I thought I'd do something different and just do like an end of the week review thing. I don't know if this will work, so we'll see how it goes. But if you prefer this format, let me know. If not, I'll stick it back in the Blu-rays. Right, okay, so what did I watch this last couple of days? Okay, so I've got my trusty Star Wars VHS book. So this is just going to be like a week's worth, last Monday to Sunday. It's not always, I'm not always going to be able to watch the amount of stuff I've actually watched this week, because some weeks I work long weeks. But anyway, let's kick it off. If I sort of like scoot over here, because some of them I've got physical and some of them I've got streaming. So let's kick it off with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes, this is the new 2022 Netflix film. Now, I've never really watched any Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, so I'm not huge on the whole Leatherface Ethora. Is that a word, Ethora? I don't know where I got that word from. Yeah, the whole genre. You know, I'm familiar with Jason. Not Jason. I'm not even familiar with Jason. This is going well, isn't it? I'm familiar with Michael Myers, you know, Groovy Baby and all that kind of shit. But not with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This one actually pleasantly surprised me. I'll move back now because I've taken the poster away. This is about like a group of millennials, business people that decide to go to this small Texas deserted town called Harlow, in a bid to get investors in and turn it into a nice little place to go, an upcoming place where they can have business meetings and some social events and shit like that. And unfortunately, they don't know that old Leatherface is there himself. And something happens in this town that causes him to go apeshit. And a bus comes in with a load of investors and a load of millennials and shit like that. Shit like a lot. And he just decides to go apeshit with his chainsaw. Yeah. This is a very violent film. There's a lot of gore in it. I loved the gore. I thought it was fantastic. How many millennials can you chop in half? Yeah, let's decapitate a few millennials while shoving a buzzsaw up the jacksie. Oh, that's going to hurt. Yeah, so there was all sorts of kills in this. I thought it was a good film. It was just short of an hour and a half. And I think the pacing was good. I don't want to get into the whole history of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because I'm not going to say, well, this never happened, or this person should be this. I know he should be about 70 or 80 years old, but let's just say he's a 70 or 80-year-old energetic chainsaw killer, and leave it at that. And they did bring a character in, which was supposed to be like the Jamie Lee Curtis character from Halloween. Apparently the original actress died, so they brought someone else in. Didn't really work. She was really not that necessary. She wasn't in it that much either. But she still managed to get a shot off even after missing half of her stomach. So yeah, I like the kills. The main characters that came into this little town, they were just there for... They were just cannon fodder, well, chainsaw fodder, weren't they? They were just there to be chopped up, yeah. So I didn't really care much about any of them, apart from one, which this young girl had already gone through a hard time with a high school shooting. Although I don't know why it was necessary to actually have it in the film, but it was interesting. Was it? But yeah, I had a fun time. I had nothing to watch, so it was just short of an hour and a half. And just a lot of gruesome body chopping kills. What more do you want on a Friday night? I don't even think I saw it on a Friday night. Anyway, I gave that 7.5 out of 10 chopped up people. I don't know what I was to say. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, so that was Texas Chainsaw Mascara. Right, the next one, I don't have to move over because I do have this one on physical. This I finally got round to watching last night in Soho. That's right. I do love that artwork, but I also love the artwork on... That's the same one. The alternative artwork. Yeah, this really surprised me. This was really good. This is about a young woman that lives sort of like down in, is it Cornwall or somewhere like that? And who has aspirations of going to London and being a fashion designer. So, yeah, she makes it in. So she goes up there, gets a bed sit kind of thing, or a room, and goes to fashion school, whatever you want to call it. She doesn't really get on with some of the people, some of the youngsters there. The thing is that when she goes to sleep, she kind of like has dreams or has visions that she's actually someone else, that she's actually Anna Taylor-Joy back in the 60s. So then they tend to bring in, you know, all the 60s cars and 60s fashion and the whole music and everything like that. A bit Cilla Black here, a bit Cilla Black there. Right, Chuck. Surprise! Oh, Jesus, Paul, maybe you're just sort of stuck to doing your reviews and your, in your Blu-ray hunting. But anyway, yeah, and Matt Smith is in it as well, from Doctor Who. Well, Doctor Who. The Doctor. You don't call him Doctor Who, do you? He's just the Doctor. And also Terence Stamp, being a bit Zoddish. And it's kind of got a horror aspect to it at the end. There's a bit seedy in there as well, some seedy moments, but it's her kind of like trying to realise why she's there and the visions that she's having, and towards the end she keeps having kind of like ghostly images. So I won't go into, you know, the specifics of the film, because you do need to watch it to appreciate the beauty of it and what really happens, you know, towards the end. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the pitch quality was fantastic. Soundtrack was bloody good on that. It's by Edgar Wright, of course, who did Baby Driver and all the other lovely films that we watch. And yeah, I really had fun with it. I really thought it was a great film. And what did I give that one? I gave that one 8 out of 10. Go back to the 60s and dress up posh. Okie dokie, so that's that one. Next, what do we have? Oh, yes. I used to be called this at school many times. Freaks. This surprised the shit out of me. I've had this in my collection for quite a while. I never really thought of watching it. And then I just plucked it off the shelf one night the other day and thought, let's just go through some of my old catalogue that I've not got to watch. And Jesus, this really surprised me. This was a bloody good film. Seriously good film. This has got Emile Hirsch in it, and also Bruce Dern and Grace Park from Battlestar Galactica. And it's about this little girl here who's about 7 or 8 years old, and she lives in this house with her dad, played by Emile Hirsch. And they've kind of like got all the windows all taped up and boarded up, and he won't let her go outside. So it's kind of like, remember the film Room with Brie Larson? It's kind of like that, and 10 Cloverfield Lane with John Goodman. So it's kind of like not a kidnapping thing, but just in the house, if you know what I mean. No, they don't know what I mean, Paul. Explain it to them a bit better. Yeah, so we don't really get to see much of outside. Emile Hirsch's character goes outside every now and again to try and get supplies, but comes back, why has he got a gunshot? You know, why has he got a wound? And this little girl just wants to get out there. And her dad won't let her out there because she's not normal. And I don't want to go too much into specifics of the film, because this is kind of like one of those surprise films where you really need to know nothing about the film and just go in blind. For the first half hour of the film, it is a bit slow, but for the first half hour of the film, it's just like Brie Larson's room. And you're thinking, what the hell's going on? Every now and again, something will happen. There'll be kind of a ripple. And you're like, what the bloody hell is going on? And then it reveals itself step by step. And by the end of the film, it bears no resemblance to the first half hour. And it kind of felt to me at the end, without giving too much away, that this could be like an X-Men Origins movie. Seriously, it had that feel to it. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a bloody good film. Bloody good, I'm telling you. So yeah, definitely give Freaks a go. I gave that one 8 out of 10 little girls looking for ice cream. Oh, dear me. Right, what have we got next? Okay. Right, this one I haven't got a physical copy, so I'm going to move over here again. This one is called The Final Countdown. No, not that one. This is a film from, where is 1970? Late 70s, maybe 78 or 79, I can't remember. Stars Martin Sheen and Kirk Douglas. I couldn't remember. I've seen snippets of this film over the years, but I decided it's on Amazon Prime to watch. I want to watch it. I know there's a really good 4K transfer for this out, a physical release in America that's got a lenticular cover. This is about an aircraft carrier, captained by Kirk Douglas. They're out patrolling in the sea, and all of a sudden they get this like swirly vortex storm coming towards them, and you know, their engine nearly explode and all that kind of shit because it's so loud and whistling and all that kind of crap. And then they realise that they've actually been transported back to the eve of the Pearl Harbor attack in 1941. And, of course, they can't communicate with the US Navy because, you know, 50-odd years has gone. They get to fly out with a couple of Tomcats to intercept some old Japanese planes, you know, with the propellers. And it's an enjoyable film trying to work out why they're there, what are they going to get involved in. And there's even possible talk of maybe stopping the attack on Pearl Harbor, which of course some feel you cannot because it will interfere so much that it would change history forever. So I thought it was an enjoyable film. I did. There is a very similar film that I saw years ago called The Philadelphia Experiment, and it's nothing to do with spreading cheese on your on your toast. I believe a couple of pilots, I think it is, from the Second World War ended up coming into the future. I think that's The Philadelphia Experiment. Like I say, no cheese included. So that's that. So I gave that 7.5 out of 10 lost aircraft carriers. I don't know where they are. Right, this takes me to the last two. And both of these were sent to me by the lovely Ernie Hayes. Thank you, Ernie. Really appreciate it. And he wanted me to watch them. I said I'll watch them this week. So I thought I'd better do it in case he decides to come down here and kick me in the arse, because I promised. Anyway, first up, we have The Wanderers. Because I'm a wanderer. Oh, I'm a wanderer. I roam around. Yeah, I only know the status quo version of it. But I have heard the original now. So that's pretty good. So, yes, basically, this is set in 1963. By the way, both this film and the next one came out in the same year, 1979. And they're kind of similar in a way. So this is set in 1963. This is all about gangs, girls, and rock and roll. Yes. This is like not turf war, but this is gangs. So set in the Bronx in Brooklyn. You've got the Wanderers there who have these coats on, and you can see other different gangs there. You've got a group of gangs called the Baldies, which I think Jean-Luc Picard would fit snugly into.
Shut up, Wesley.
You got this bloke here who's in the Baldies. Now, I looked on IMDb, and unfortunately this chap died a couple of years later when he was about 35. But he was in, I think he was in The Running Man. I think he was in, was he Iceman, or I can't remember which one it was, but he was in The Running Man. This character here, I got confused. I thought that was a small boy, but apparently it's a woman. But yeah, you can see here all the gangs and everything, and it's basically gang against gang. Karen Allen comes into the film, you know, Marion from Raiders of the Lost Ark as a love interest, and it's all about these relationship between these gangs, and they're all after each other and they all kick the shit out of each other, and the relationship between members in the gang. So I thought it was a pretty good film. The music was brilliant. There was a lot of great music, all 60s music, and yeah, it's got a really good soundtrack. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. I did give The Wanderers 7 out of 10 roaming around and around and around. Okay. Right, so the last one that I watched this week. Yeah, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw 6 films in 1 week. What's going on? I guarantee next week's only going to be bloody 2. Anyway, this was the other one, which was also came out in 1979. This is The Warriors. Okay. Yes. And this is about groups again. So this is about gangs again, set in Brooklyn and the Bronx. But this one is set, I think, like late 70s. I think it's set at the time the film came out, about 1979. You do have some relevant music, including Joe Walsh's brilliant In the City. Yeah. So, yeah, this was a really good film. What happened was there's all of these gangs all in one area. And there's kind of like a guru gang member. He kind of like, everybody looks up to him. And he's saying that they should take all these different areas of America, you know, so that the police can't get there. But what happens is he gets shot. Spoiler. He gets shot right at the very beginning of the film. The Warriors get blamed for killing him. So all these gangs go after the Warriors. And it's basically the Warriors have to get from where this location was to where they're supposed to be in Coney Island without getting the shit kicked out of them. They do run into various different other gangs along the way. There's also a love interest in this. And it's a road trip. It's a road, kind of like a jogging road trip through New York. And using the London Underground, using the New York Underground system. Whenever you go to bed at night, just imagine all of this happens outside when you're fast asleep. Well, maybe not in Dover, but this is the kind of thing that happens late at night where we're all tucked up, snuggled away with our teddy bears. Yes. And yeah, I thought I enjoyed this a little bit more than The Wanderers. It had a great 70s, 80s soundtrack. But then again, the other one had a really great 60s soundtrack. So, yes, that's The Warriors. He did send me the DVD. Apparently, there's a director's cut, but he told me not to watch it, just to watch the theatrical cut. This is the DVD, but I found it on Sky, and the picture quality on Sky Movies was bloody good. It was HD. It was really good. So, thank you for sending this, Ernie, but I did watch the HD version, which was just short of an hour and a half. So definitely wasn't the director's cut because it had no weird stripe shit on it. He told me to look out for the stripes. I don't know what that is. Yeah, anyway, so that's The Warriors. Thought the pacing was good. The arse kickings, the arse wipes, the arse kickings were really good. And some good punch-ups, not too violent. Yeah, I thought it was really good. As I say, I like this one more than I liked The Wanderers, but The Wanderers was really good as well. I give this one 7.5 out of 10. gangs kicking the shit out of each other. There we go. So that is it. So that is all I've watched. I promise, look, I even wrote everything down. Which I'll be doing every week. So yes, expect more reviews over the next week. Like I say, some weeks might have more than others. But I'm only going to stick to movies and not TV shows. Because I do watch a lot of TV episodes through the week. But I can never remember what I've watched. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Like the video by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share. Stick down in the bottom there in the comments if you prefer this format. If you like the humour injected into it and it's not so serious. And should I go back and just carry on doing it in the Blu-ray videos? Let me know so I know what to do. Anyway, until the next video,